Pretty unique way to open up a video, if I do say so myself. I've never done it like this before. Hello, everyone. This is Very Mellow Man, welcoming you back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In our last episode of the Let's Play, we defeated the Jaws of Hakon, and we killed their god, Hakon Wintersbite, which is actually a good thing, because now it's been purified of whatever corrupted it. And with the Jaws basically reduced to a nothing force of stragglers, they can no longer threaten Ferelden or any other nation. For our trouble, we managed to get a new Inquisition level out of it. We really do not need more money at this point. So you know what? I think what I'm going to do is get True Grit. Give everyone a 10% bump to every defense. It's probably for the best. So if we have anything else to take. I didn't need to leave. Okay, so onward is the Descent DLC.
You're doing it again. Oh, I do apologize.
Now that's going to be in my head all day.
Can't mention how it wouldn't. Alright. Alright. Let's take the usual party.
Inquisitor, the workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper, Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at.
Hello, Madar.
Miss solid ground.
I could be doing better, but I'm doing fine. The most annoying thing I've had to deal with all day is, are my eyes. They just keep watering up. I could be doing better, but I'm doing fine.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyruim mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
From your tone, I'd guess Orzammar isn't your favorite place.
I don't have an opinion. Cloud gazers like me aren't allowed in the city. The lift's ready for you.
Yep. We're going down to the deep roads today.
Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
So, the deep roads. Do you think there'll be tight spaces? Long hallways with low ceilings?
Possibly. Why?
Just hoping...
I
my
wouldn't
horse-
mind having Harding as a companion,
Is
Madar.
this the slowest lift ever constructed?
It's better than climbing down.
I'm not against
I
it,
could
but
do with some
she's
music.
not exactly
Something with
a
a flute.
must-have for me.
Always wondered if I'd die down here.
So I'm interested in seeing
Not dead
how
yet.
she'd be handled
The
as a
day's just
companion in the
starting.
next game. Oh, and don't expect your companions to talk much during this DLC. That's pretty much the last we'll hear of them.
Korut, Magirl, Novrik, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaperate welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
What does a Shaper do, exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in lyruim to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
Harding is a rogue, or are you talking about someone else?
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium?
Okay, you were talking about Harding. I thought you were talking
The
about
surface
Volta in
needs
front of me.
lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
And since we have the history knowledge perk, we can talk like this. Yeah, okay, I remember Volta being a warrior.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause, and celebrate their own funerals before entering the deep roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
Alright. Since we're down here, we can level up Blackwall and Dorian for the last time. I always thought the Grey Wardens were like the Night's Watch from that particular franchise. Although I suppose there's no limit on how many times you can take inspiration from the Night Watch. Rejuvenating Barrier, Guardian Spirit. think Guardian Spirit. Black Wall, you will get... I'll give you this. Alright, let's get going.
Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
Without a doubt they are. So, just like the Fade, the Deep Roads are basically much better looking in this game than they were in Dragon Age Origins.
Stay clear of its reach!
Now, while it's distracted!
Yeah, the Wardens, the Legion of Dead, and the Night's Watch all use ex-criminals. That's basically like the main comparison between all three of them.
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
Ogre Alphas have a lot of HP in them. Yeah, they're pretty tough to take down, especially since they scaled them up to level 27. Oh god, everything's gonna be at level 27 down here.
Strike now!
You have my gratitude.
If I lost you, I'd never make it out of the deep roads.
I'm sure you would find a way. If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry.
And Iron Bull's gonna get his final level. Ooh, the Superior Belt of Sunder. And a Silencer. Hey, a Hidden Blades enchant. Not bad. Not bad at all. And you know there will be a point you have to fight two at the same time. I think there is a point I have to fight two ogres at once during this DLC.
I will never get used to the stench of darkspawn. They
You see here. Darkspawn are pretty evil. Yeah.
everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
So everyone looks okay. Oh. Well, they look okay dealing with the Darkspawn right now. Especially that guy with them.
Get those charges to the tunnels!
Ooh, they are getting overwhelmed.
Someone prime the sodding fuses!
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
So you have to kill Darkspawn continuously till we
Clear out the Darkspawn!
Go, Dorian. Stand this.
One down.
Cancelled for the time being.
That's got them on their heels. Keep it up.
Now, set the charges.
Alright, gotta take cover. Darkspawn teeth. Not all Darkspawn are evil. The first is actually very calm and peaceful. Here's the problem with Darkspawn. Here's what makes Darkspawn super tragic. The entire point of Awakening is that the Blight is the reason the Darkspawn are all basically uncontrollably evil. If you were able to give them sentience, they could be morally varied like any other race. That was the whole point of that conflict between the Architect's Darkspawn and the Mother's Darkspawn. But without the with the Blight, they don't have a choice.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Blight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
So, just some trivia for people.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
So there's a theory that the first brood mother to ever exist was one of the 7 Magisters. Well, some of the Magisters have to be female, if for no other reason than this being a Bioware game, so that would be pretty horrific if we ever discover that.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the Quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm and the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
How can an earthquake be caused deliberately?
We get plenty of natural tremors down here. These are different. She thinks she knows why.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity, but now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
So, some of the 7 Magisters were female. Okay, so there's definitely a possibility that the first female Magister could have been a brood mother. Oh, speaking of first, we're learning about the Titans right now. Earlier than I remember learning about them the last time I played this particular DLC. That's good to know.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense. And Vault is better than most. She never gets lost.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
Oh, hey, we can find the codexes about the lizardmen fighting the Darkspawn in this DLC. That's good to know. Speaking of deep roads, we got some trivia on the stone, where we just refreshing players familiar with the franchise that the stone is basically the dwarven deity of the setting. And if we had the arcane knowledge part, we can answer like this, which is what I prefer.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
Dangerous, then. But a magic unique to the deep roads might be worth investigating.
Oh, Dorian actually says something. Nice.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until
Also,
we
this
find
guy
the
is
source.
David Haytner
The rhythm I sense
from the
in
Metal Gear
quakes
Solid series.
is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you...
Yeah, I remember the codex you're talking about, Madar. We talked about that a few days ago. Alright. So there are 2 sections of this. The Deep Roads and the Uncharted Abyss. Let's go to the Deep Roads. Deep Roads Expeditions, Legion Camp Improvements. We already made them. You also change our party if you want to do that. Rest up. Ooh, this loot is very special. Nah, floors, armor. Ooh, not that loot. I thought it was something else. Yeah, here we go. 30 dragon bones, 20 dragon scales, and 20 dragon webbing.
Oh, you can clean it, right?
Also buy crafting materials from here. I mean, you can buy another set of tier 3 crafting materials from here. If you already have the Black Emporium, which is great. On top of all that, 150 each dragon weapon, dragon scale, and dragon bone. The only thing that sucks is that because the Jaws of Hakon DLC is a separate module, you can't buy Iced Dragon Hide or Iced Dragon Bone. Or any other tier 4 materials. You can't do that. It's the only thing that sucks about it.
So it's true. The king involved a servicer.
Emblem and Alfred. Modify weapons and armor. Alright then. Now we are off. Ren's voice actor is David Haytner, mostly known for playing Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series.
I hope we don't run into an emissary.
Oh, now we definitely will.
I take it emissaries are bad?
Most Darkspawn are mindless killing machines, connected by the Blight. But emissaries are intelligent. And use magic. Shrieks. It had to be shrieks.
I thought you'd be used to all kinds of Darkspawn.
Look, everyone's got their favorites.
I'm partial to ogres. Great racks.
Nice. Kota kun kota, kota, yo.
One left to worry about.
About dwarven religion. What is it called when you pray to objects like trees, stone, the sun? I don't have the answer for that. I'm sorry. I don't know what it's called either. Probably wasting time collecting deep mushroom, but to be honest, I'm more concerned with
This belonged to an exiled dwarf who was experimenting with raw lyrium.
Deep roads always look so
This
immaculate.
door, there's something strange about it. Looks like our construction, but...
It's missing gears.
we have to find them. It's our only way through.
Oh.
That
Got
gear
one
will
gear.
fit the door. Keep an eye out for others.
There are apparently 3 chests in that coffin, but I'm not really in the mood to figure out how to unlock it. So this doesn't do it. Oh, okay. So that did it. I found it. It's called animism. So it's called animism. Interesting to know.
This gear is warm to the touch. Strange.
I don't recognize that metal. But we should only need one more.
It says it's around here somewhere, but I'm not sure. Dang it. Wish, Joker, wish. But yeah, the show's far gone. No, not far gone. It's more like, it kind of ended as strongly as it could. The show. It's so kiddie. Yeah, it's for... Well, those are just kids shows. That's a kids show, man. I mean, I like kids. Nah, I can't get into Vanguard. Oh. There was a third one. Okay. That's where the
We
third
have
one
enough
was.
of these
Wow.
odd gears. Let's head back to the door.
Animism is when you pray to animals and objects. So yeah, you managed to answer your own question.
And if we don't, I want
Thanks
to
to that,
stop
because I really
Whatever
didn't
they're
have
made
the
of
time
wasn't
for it.
mine down here. The rhythm in the tremors, it echoes through the stone. This way.
Gotta collect way more gears than this time than the last time. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Another strange door. Who put these here? And why?
This one uses a different kind of gear from the others.
We don't have to open it. My stone sense leads the other way. Though I am curious to see the other side.
You always are.
Do Darkspawn have blacksmiths and healers? I don't think they're civilized enough to have blacksmiths. They feel like more the type to just gather leftover weapons and armor from any races they kill.
Fell out of bed.
You sleep on the ground.
Surprised me too.
Healers, I would assume that's the duty of the emissaries, if they use healing magic at all, but no, I don't think they have access to healing magic unless the emissary itself had healing magic. So the Revenant's a boss, instead of just a regular Revenant. Man, I have no idea how many corpses I already have. I think their corpses will keep spawning to kill the Revenant. Is that how it's gonna work? Shoot.
This Grey Warden had a map. Could be important.
Why are human corpses in the deep roads? Well, my idea is that some humans do travel into deep roads for whatever reason, and they end up dying down here because they don't know it as well as the dwarves do. Alright. The idea behind these rooms is that they have pretty interesting loot if you decide to go through going inside. A Ring of Life's Drain. Just gives you 10% heal on kill. Force Prowler armor. Tense Phalanges Vidar. Force Prowler armor. Okay. Alright. Actually. Just wanted to try that out. Ooh, these guys. Oh, they're immune. Genlocks. Genlocks are definitely tanky. The question about blacksmiths might not be inaccurate, especially if the Genlocks are to make these big shields. Jesus Christ. Well, I should save that for when I fight a really impossible challenge.
You killed Darkspawn like you've been doing it your whole life, Inquisitor.
He means that as a compliment.
You're famous, even down here. Is it true you killed a dragon?
You haven't lived till you felt their wings pulling you in.
I can't even imagine. Tell me about their teeth. I've heard they don't all breathe fire, and their scales have different colors and patterns.
Careful, Ren. I believe you're drooling.
Well, it's true for the most part. They don't all breathe fire, and their scales all have different colors and patterns because there's more than one type of high dragon. I don't think Blackwall's lost any health since we got down here. And of course, corrupted spires. Deep roads wouldn't be complete without those. Alright. AK DPS and take care of ogre health. Not bad. Not bad. I'm not judging them. Not judging them. What do you think? I've heard of it, but I've never gotten to read it. It's really cool. Alright, there you go. Right, another gear. Let's go over here and plant another flag down.
Look at that, Ren. Could this be Hedron?
Darkspawn all over it. You can see their torches.
Even Darkspawn appreciate a little mood lighting.
We're getting close to something.
Aye. The fight of our lives. There's nothing left of them. Can't even tell who they were.
I'm sorry, Ren.
You join the Legion knowing you're already dead. You don't fear the killing blow. We rest in the stone and pass our strength back
Do
to our...
elven or
That's
dwarven
our
ghouls and
reward.
undeads exist?
Darkspawn. Defile these soldiers.
I'm pretty sure we'd see
Can't
dwarven
return to the
and
stone.
elven
It'd
undead
only weaken her.
in reality, but for the sake of video game limitations, we don't actually see those particular models being used as generic enemies. It's a budget thing.
We'll make the Darkspawn pay for what they've done.
I've killed so many. But every time I stare into their black eyes, I know one day it won't be quick enough.
Stop it.
It's the truth, Volta. I'm going to die down here. I can only hope it won't be like this.
We'll burn the remains. Honor them with flame.
As you can see, being a member of the Legion of the Dead isn't exactly, you know... Okay, so we can fast travel to and from this place in our first camp. About the lizardmen, you have another idea. What if they weren't experiments, but a magic that went wrong? You mean Morgan and Flint are able to turn animals? What if they go wrong? You think the lizardmen are just shapeshifters now? Influence. I mean, that's not really how shape-shifting magic works. But then I'm only saying that because I think I know how shape-shifting magic works. So they're just stuck that way. That'd be kind of interesting because it would say much more about that type of magic than it would about the lizardmen as a race. Yeah, I know you mean fail the shapeshifters.
The Inquisition is on everyone's lips. Even the Assembly has taken an interest. I'm told King Balin wished to meet you personally, but the Deshos talked him down. The earthquakes present too great a risk. When the previous king died, Orzammar nearly fell apart.
How does one become?
Yeah, Balin's the king in my playthrough here.
Born with a keen stone sense. It caught the Shaper's attention.
I prefer him over
My passion for
Harriman.
history earned me the title. It was never really a choice.
Thanks for the insight, Shaper.
My
I think
pleasure.
most people prefer Balin over
We'll
Harriman,
speak another time.
but you never know. Okay, so this is an optional area we're about to explore. At least I think it's optional, because the quest marker doesn't lead us down there. Yeah, the quest marker leads us to another lift, but we're gonna explore Headroom
Keep your mouth
Tide
closed
for a
when
bit.
fighting Darkspawn. Their blood's poison.
I've killed Darkspawn.
There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a Hurlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter. Took him 3 days to die.
So yeah, that's the risk of swallowing Darkspawn blood and not being a Grey Warden. Or are cursed. Oh, so you think the Lizardmen are like the werewolves now? Okay. That better... I forgot the werewolves were a thing in this setting, because the werewolves are literally just cursed. So if the Lizardmen are more like werewolves instead of like a completely different species, that'd be cool. As far as where werewolves can reproduce, the wolves are just mammals, so I'm pretty sure they still have all the necessary parts to reproduce.
Goodbye.
The Naga King.
Why is this here? Perhaps there's a use for it.
I don't think I ever did that particular event. So yeah, do I think werewolves can reproduce? I think they can still have children, but the nature of the curse would mean that their own children would be born with the curse and would become werewolves involuntarily. That is, if that like, there's only one way we know of to make werewolves in this setting, and that was the cause of spirit. So I don't really know if that spirit's particular curse would actually affect anyone else, including children produced by the parents, in the same way that it affects the parents. Deep stalkers and the deep roads, of course. Well, I don't know if the lizardmen... Well, if the lizardmen would have to be were creatures, according to your new theory, then they'd have to be were dragons, simply because being were lizards wouldn't literally explain why they're so large. On the other hand, being a werewolf makes you quite a bit larger than a regular wolf. So they could still be were lizards, to be completely frank, instead of were dragons. But, either is a possibility. Actually, Emissary is weak to cold. That's interesting. And its HP melts. Okay, so the lizardmen are able to breathe fire. I forgot that detail. That definitely makes them were dragons if we're going with your new theory. Alright, that's all we're going to explore from our current vantage point. So, let's go back on the main road. Continue with the storyline here. That's where we can replenish supplies. As far as atmosphere goes, the Deep Roads has the strongest horror atmosphere next to the Fade itself. Deep Roads, I think, it's like environmental horror, while the Fade would be surreal horror. If you catch my drift. And like I said, the Deep Roads just look better in Inquisition than they ever did in Dragon Age Origins, because obviously the better engine allows you to make a more interesting landscape to look at. God damn it.
Lost a good soldier in the roads once. She fell down a hole. Found her 3 days later.
He loves this story.
She spent a whole day telling us all the strange things she saw while lost. A golden longboat floating in the air.
Yeah.
Packs of hairless children hunting nugs. A giant skeleton on a throne.
Was it true?
Never found out. She woke up the next day. Couldn't remember any of it.
So yeah, you can get tier 1 ore down here as well. We just picked up some iron. But more importantly, you can get Summerstone. We just passed a supply cache on the way down here. You don't have to remind us, dude. I don't think we ever got a name for the dwarf Ren is speaking about in particular. We don't get names for any of the dwarves he talks about. Damn. Yeah, alright.
Have a look at this. Here's something.
Four blood-stained ancient gears. Gah. The Legion of the Dead tend to have very memorable adventures.
That you're bringing order to the chaos.
That's what they tell me.
We could use that down here.
Look at these.
Something over there.
You found 6 gears down here. Nice. I never remembered this detour being so good. Yeah, ever since Dragon Age 2, the genlocks really do resemble blighted gorillas more than anything else. We needed only 4, but we have 6.
A lost caravan. It may have been down here for centuries. I wonder if anything's left.
Oh, gold, enhanced rampage and challenge ring, superb belt of ranged defense, dwarven vase. All right, that's a lot of loot.
These goods are amazingly well preserved.
Yeah, they are. Enhanced walking slashings for your potions belt. That is a lot of loot, and another gear. I like how the gear system in the Descent promotes exploring the area in general. I like that aspect of this DLC. Especially since at this point in the game, you're at the maximum level, so the loot you find while randomly generated will sell for the highest price available. Make her preserve me.
You almost lost my leg to a Hurlock a few years back. Left a nasty scar.
How'd you get away?
Kicked her with the other leg.
Good man.
Seriously, keep your guard up. They'll use your tongue as jewelry.
I'll remember that.
Then we just backtracked, okay. About your armor. My armors are always black, white, or red. But yours looks good too. Thank you for the compliments of my armor. I tend to think of myself as fashion illiterate. So I usually just go with what worked instead of what looked good. But I've been trying to make better matching colors. In general, with each of my characters, I try to stick to a color theme that matches the specialization they picked. Like, I have a Reaver Kunari save file, and he's wearing blood red armor. For example, that type of stuff. My Artificer Rogue on another save is also wearing brown armor. Just things that I think match the overall. So for the Tempest, I wanted really bright, colorful armor to represent the variety of elemental magics that they could use. need 5 blood
I heard
stained
the hero
ancient
of
gears.
Ferelden came down here during the Blight.
Cardall met the Warden, but I never had the pleasure.
Do you often see Grey Wardens?
From time to time. They're a good bunch. Tough in a fight. Fearless.
Any warden would say the same about the Legion.
Hey, Blackwall has something to say. Hey, the companions actually have stuff to talk about. I'm actually pretty nice. Pretty good about that. So you use black armor for necromancers and white armors for knight enchanters. That's a good color scheme. Man, I can't remember the last... I think I used black for a knight enchanter the last time I played one. Okay. Everyone hold your position there. I wonder if I have enough gears now to go open up that hidden door. I only found 2, but I had 4 left over from the exposition. I mean, the necromancers are dark and mysterious, and knight enchanters are like white knights from fairy tales. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I didn't necessarily argue against your preferences, because the whole point of this entire thing is to personalize your preference. Like, that's why I mentioned that the last time I actually had a knight enchanter, I actually used black armor. Because... yeah, there we go. I had enough. Good. Loot.
More on the lyruim experiments. Looks like his results were inconclusive.
5 gears. Not really enough loot to justify the 5 gears. But, you know, whatever. I asked for that. Ah, you only needed 4. Don't worry about it, my buddy. Hey, play. So, yeah, anyway. You viewed... because of your views on necromancers and knight enchanters, you chose those color schemes. It's no different from how I viewed the Reaver as being dressed in all red. I wasn't saying you were wrong. It's actually just pointing out how interesting the entire system could be. Alright. This. else to talk about? Take all the time you need. That's 2 right off the bat. Nice. And there's 3. I have a Kunari mage who wears red armor because red is a Kunari color, you think. Well, if you weren't arguing with me, I was just confused because you said no earlier when we talked about armors that I was kind of wondering what that was about because it seemed a little argumentative. I apologize for misreading your intent, but it felt like you were misreading my intent. That's why I responded the way I did. There are 3. That one looks like it only needs 2. Over here is 2 more. That means I have 5. Alright, alright. I know you said what reasons you had, but you made a clarification like you thought I had misread your intent earlier. At least that's what it sounded like to me, so that's why I answered the way I did. Alright, here we go. This is like the big gauntlet area. I feel like I should give Dorian the heal on kill ring. Oh god, he got mobbed. Yeah, I just wanted to clear up any confusion there was going on as well. Very good.
Don't let them get behind us.
Prologue. frame rate's starting to chop up a little bit just because of how much action's going on the screen. Now we need to kill Genlock alphas. Genlock. Alright. The names of the Darkspawn, like Genlock Hawk, are in the languages of the Anderfels. Come on. Finally. Ogres now. Yep, we need to fight 2 ogres. Ogres. I think I went backwards. I never knew I couldn't save during all this. Ooh, I can't save. Wow. Serpent Stone. Alright, well, those ogres are the only thing we have left to kill in the immediate area, so let's go and take care of them. Yo. Alright. Did as much damage as I could there. Oh. Oh! Okay. I got freed, finally. Right. That's that.
Get to the emissary leader! Cut it down and they're done!
Now I have to kill the emissary alpha. Ooh. Ooh, oh yeah. It's a lot of barrier to take down.
Don't let that emissary leader control the battle! This is our fight!
That's it for the emissary alpha. Yo. Superb belt of fire resistance and Isana's song. Alright then. Now we have our third camp.
That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it, or why?
This Tig is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
I'm starting to see a trend.
If there is a titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
Alright, where were we?
That reference to singing stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
It would seem you're not the first to connect earthquakes to titans.
Not to keep beating a dead Bronto, but there's no actual evidence that what happened then and now are the same.
Singing tremors, destroying a mine and threatening a Tig? You don't see any similarity?
I think you're reading where you want to read.
Perhaps this will change your mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Oh boy. You have a good point, Madar. Anyone with a fear of heights would really not do well in the deep roads because, despite all of it being underground, there's a lot of crap underground. That means a lot of crap you have to see from above.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Garal's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a Shaper.
Not all Shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A childhood friend of King Balin had ancestral ties to the Carta. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records? Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
Understandable. Yesterday's all the rage is today's embarrassment.
Dorian makes an excellent point. People talk.
If the Shaperate is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
It takes courage to challenge authority.
I suppose you would know.
More than
Some
you
believe
know.
The past is what we make it. But we gain nothing from ignoring mistakes.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
I didn't know there was an underground city in the real world. That's interesting. What's it called? Let's just rest here for funsies. Upper, central, and lower. You don't know its name, but it's in India. Okay. Ooh. Alright. It's too far down.
I can feel it now. The blight. It's spreading.
Yes.
See the infinite deep. Yeah. Further into the dark we go. Fear the unknown. All right.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved. There. Light a torch.
So I can see us coming? Just stay close.
The ones. Oh man, we can see these eyes. The lead up to these guys is really good.
Stay together.
All I can see are their eyes.
It's easy to get lost down here.
We've gone past the deep roads.
How can you tell? It's pitch black.
I can feel it.
Jesus. The lead up to these guys is very good.
Show yourselves!
Deep ones are from the Cthulhu mythos. Alright.
Ren!
Not at all.
No!
Oh, here they are. Sharpatal. Oh, I forgot to refill grenades. Great. Sharpatal, revered defender. bolters. Man. I have no idea what causes those random slowdown hits to occur, but they look sick. Looks like Ren gets off right here.
You deserved better. Ren never wanted this life. He was a cobbler, a good one. He joined the Legion to pay his father's
Ren?
debts. It kept his
Ren!
from losing their caste. The poor
And various other snake-related memes.
For their family's future.
We will find whoever did this, and make them stop.
The armor on these warriors. There's lyruim woven directly into the metal, and it's bonded to their skin. Impossible to remove, but I know what we'd find underneath. These are dwarves. Ren was killed by our own kind.
Plot twist.
All it took was a single strike. Ren never had a chance.
The bolt was glowing. Their weapons could also have been infused with lyruim. I won't leave Ren like this. We must return him to the stone. Thrust Tonsha Sauroka. I'll see this through, Ren. I promise. Anything standing between us and the Titan will regret it.
So we're picking up a lot of gold from these guys. And I do mean it's a lot, because when you first play the video game, you struggle to even get hundreds of gold at once from something rare enough to be worth selling. Ren's body just... I assume they just left Ren's body there. And the game itself doesn't model it after the fact. Okay, so for the bolters and specifically, we want this. Eggs to the Rift. In fact, look at Eggs to the Rift. Now we have the Master Cooldown Amulet. Cooldown time 6 seconds. .6 seconds. Why do they have so much gold? It's like Kretal. Oh, hey, we still have more ancient gears to deal with. Like, enemies have impossible drops like that pretty much as a standard protocol for RPGs. It's like how in Dark Souls 2 you'll find weapons dropping from spiders. It's really bizarre around how you look at it.
This is like the Wall of Memories in Orzammar, but ancient. Very
I imagine the
ancient.
Sharp Ratal have so much
Words
gold.
seem based in
Sorry,
Dwarven,
hold on.
But I barely recognize this dialect.
Can you translate any of it?
Only fragments. The language is very different from what we speak today. This word keeps appearing. Shah Bratal. I believe it means revered defenders.
Whew. Anyway, the Sharp Ratal having gold is pretty interesting, but like I said, it's just one of those things you have to not think about in an RPG in order for it to make any sense.
What needs to be protected all the way down here?
Isatanal. Isatanal. Cut our tongues, entomb our bodies, watch over the Titan until it stirs. So the warriors who attacked us must be the Shabratal, and technically a Titan.
Shit.
Are you all right, Falta?
I can hear Ren's objections. Let's keep moving. If more of these memories exist, they may have the answers we need.
How... So the Dwarven language...
Blackwall needs help! Wounded! Help Dorian!
Dang it. However, the Sharpatal is dropping gold, I'm not exactly unthankful for it. Not ungrateful. And we got 2 more of these bloodstained gears. A total of 3 just from getting down here. Nice. And that makes 4. I'm almost afraid of what we need these bloodstained gears for. Oh, where's the start and end of that dwarven text? I assume, since this is a Western work, we're reading from left to right? Holy crap. 5? Jesus. Oh my god. 6. That's the bridge. Okay. So we got a whopping 6 of those gears. Nope, speak of the devil. 7. Oh, God. 8. Wow. This was just a gear treasure trove, wasn't it? Well, they made it like up and down stripes to us, but the dialect could still be translated. So Volta was probably reading from in a direction she was familiar with.
Strange on the other side. I can feel it.
Watch your step.
Ah, right. Knew it wasn't gonna be that simple.
That wasn't a quake. Someone sabotaged the bridge, and we don't have time to fix it. There, that ledge. We can reach it if we're careful.
If we wanted to be careful, we'd be up on the surface.
That's gear number 9. Jesus Christ. That's gear 10. Chronicles of Forgotten War. Alright, if we see another one, I'll see if the text is written upside down or whatever.
Look there. More ancient carvings.
Okay, yeah.
Seem to be about a titan. It shapes the stone. It is
Those look like Egyptian hieroglyphs, and I wonder how you read those.
Within and without.
So yeah, I have no idea how Volta's able to read that now that I've actually gotten to look at it.
Wouldn't something that can sculpt the world have to be rather enormous?
It is called.
Yeah, how do you read that? Jeez.
So it's a shaper of the stone, like you.
This implies that the Titans are actually sculptors, and our world is their
Wow.
clay.
I'll be right back. I think I have to feed my cat. Okay, so I didn't have to feed my cat, apparently.
If Titans shaped the stone, could they have actually created it?
The stone must have existed first.
Then the Titans would be the very first children of the stone.
That would have huge implications for my people.
Ooh, so yeah, that's the big lore drop. The Titans came before the dwarves. Well, now I have to take a bathroom break. Excuse me. Okay.
If Titans can purposely reshape the world, the earthquakes could be the way they sculpt the stone.
But the quakes are destructive. Titans would mold the world, not smash it to pieces.
Depending on your perspective, change can be violent.
But if this is true, how could it be missing from the memories of Orzammar? Why would someone erase such an integral part of our history?
I haven't read the Forgotten Wars Codex yet.
Let's answer that after we stop the earthquakes.
The rhythm is louder than ever. We're close.
Chronicles of a Forgotten War. Commander Orthan told us to move out. He didn't give details, only that there had been attacking north of Kad Halash, and the Crown was sending reinforcements. Father grabbed our axes, and we were off. I was a boy then, puffed up from a few victories and the provings. I didn't know what was going to take him from me, but I wouldn't find out. The journey to Kad Halash was long and tiresome. Bored warriors make for poor drunks at camp. Father and I kept ourselves, though I admit I longed to lose myself in a pint of ale, if only to have something to do other than sharpen my axe. The day after leaving Kad Halash, we noticed a change. The deep roads were practically abandoned. Torches would suddenly go out, leaving us to stumble through the dark and trip over discarded caravans. Then came the attacks, hard and fast. Father was one of the first. We heard breathing, slow and heavy. From a creature much larger than us, Father held out his arm and grabbed the front of my armor to make me stop. I saw its shadow move, darker in the darkness, and then my body jerked forward. It left Father's arm hanging, still grasping my chest plate. Wow! Okay. So yeah, these things are powerful, and they know how to use stealth to their advantage. That's nice. Bastard appeared. Wow.
Like stars at night.
All these lyrium veins, and they're completely untapped.
The Sharbatal must mine lyrium somewhere. Their weapons and armor are laced with it.
Unless they found another way to harness it.
Derelict mine. I know it's not the full codex I'm suspecting. If I find more of it, I'll read more of it. Alright. So we have a fast travel point to the Bastion of the Pure, so let's just go back up here. Forgotten Caverns Bridge. Spend some power. I like that you can spend power on these things. It gives us a use for it. Alright. Alright. My armor. Embryon and Alfred. Craft weapon. Craft armor. Alright, helmet. Dread. Dread is restricted to Iron Bull. It's the only helmet he can wear. think we have to go here in order to use that complete operations. In the John's Pack Han DLC, Harding said the Inquisitor had an elf fruit addiction. I think of that as more of a jab at the player character themselves instead of just Harding.
Rather be fighting something I can see.
See, this is why I wish that we could just fast travel to any... There's one flaw I have with the whole system where you use power on these operations. I wish we could just fast travel to every single place we performed the operation on. That way I wouldn't have to backtrack like this. I wonder if you can smoke elf fruit. Yeah, that's where we have to go to repair the bridge. Alright. Yeah, thank God. Canker. And here we are. Oh, almost fell off the bridge. Only Earthshaker is good. Oh crap, they're immune. Loot. Refuse staff. Oh yes! Battle Mage mail legs! I was missing these! I guess the Earthshakers have a type of magic, but I couldn't tell if they were actually performing it. Stone Stalker Mask. And the shield, it's my tool. All right. The shockwaves they do, either that's magic or has something to do with the technology they possess. Nah, I'm just rubbing it a little. There we go. Ah. Stone Stalker. Nice. Is there, like, I think there's water down here. But, so the Earth Shakers are immune to... They're basically the elite nukes, I guess. Earth Shakers. Which makes sense if their entire deal is to basically be super tough. Oh god, another gear's up there. Jesus Christ.
They built this to stop us. There must be some way to get through.
Damn.
I see no evidence of darkspawn here.
Maybe they know better than to come down this far.
Let's just be grateful.
But there must be a reason they avoid this place.
Might as well cover the entire map. Supply cache down there. Okay, Alright. Alright. So the thing with Bolt is that they only have one way of attacking you. Oh, well, so much for that.
Aren't deep stalkers. What do they eat to survive?
Probably
now we have a new
best
trial
not to
war
think
waiting
about
for
that
us.
Too much.
Oof. Bolter. The whole reason I even use this really shield thing so I can counter the bolters. But now I can't even do that. Bash and the cure critical hunting operation. Alright. That's gotta be a dozen by now. Jesus Christ. Chronicle of a Forgotten War. Okay. The Scaled Ones. I can't remember who came up with the name, but it stuck. Drogue had been lighting a torch when one attacked, and we finally caught a glimpse of something other than shadows. In the flame's light, we saw a man's body like those of the Imperium humans, but covered in scales. It wore armor and even had a dagger hanging from its hip. Its jaws wrapped around Drogg's face and twisted. The crunch of his neck breaking seemed to echo down the deep roads. The torch fell from his hands, and he lashed out. I swung my axe with all my might, but it bounced out the Scaled One's armor. The impact ricocheted up my arms and let out a roar, then more attacked. From the light of the fallen torch, I guessed there were a score of them, all wearing armor and carrying weapons as sharp as their teeth and talons. The one that killed Drog barked orders I didn't understand. I kept swinging. Ophion, the best of us, made the first kill by splitting a Scaled One's head open. There was a strange silence, as if after an upset in the proving grounds, and it hit me that these beasts were not used to seeing one of their own die. Drog's killer growled and stamped out the torch. The Scaled Ones retreated to darkness. Whoa! So, yeah, things heated up. Our Earthshaker. Alright. Now get that out the way. Let's head back here for another war table op. The Inquisitors identified several Kretal dens. Oh wow, this is going to take half an hour real time like the others. Alright. The itch.
This weapon of theirs cut through the barrier, but was destroyed in the effort.
Let's keep gathering their weapons. You said we're beneath the deep roads. Do you think anyone besides the Shah Bratal has traveled down here?
We are very likely the first to travel this far.
Very likely. Iron. Shoot. Video games. Video games.
Now this is interesting.
Bridge operation. Do you know? Listen to lyrium sound. Look the horizon on the water. Oh, do you think the Shah Bratal are immune to the taint? Ooh. Well, remember that they're basically running on lyrium. And remember that red lyrium is basically just lyrium infected by the taint. So I honestly don't think the Shah Bratal are immune to being tainted. I don't think they are. They're just as susceptible to it as anything else. It'll just look different for them. Yeah, yeah. Then why the Darkspawn come here? My best guess as to why there aren't any Darkspawn around here is pretty much because the Shah Bratal are really good at defending it. That's my best guess. Revered Defender Helm. A second one? Huh. I just have to know what all these gears are for. I need to know. Ooh, I almost missed you. Man. Just imagine if I actually did miss you. God. The lyrium veins really look like blood veins. Oh yeah, they do look like blood veins. Guess that gives us more hints to the lyrium being Titan's blood. Where are we? Yeah, so yeah, I saw there was a book down there. Shit, I'm gonna get these. No, I'm not you, Maynard. You're cool. All right. Chronicles of a Forgotten War. The Scaled Ones set up camp at an intersection in the deep roads. In the center was a golden altar fashioned in the shape of fire. The chill sweat through me. On the tip of each flame hung the corpses of those we'd lost, including Father and Drog. They'd been drained of blood. Oh, that's ghastly. Leaving only bone wrapped in thin gray skin. A robed scaled one stood before the altar. Its voice was different from the others. Softer, almost feminine. It chanted and raised the basin of blood toward the altar. The other scaled ones bowed low. The robed scaled one produced fire from its palm and mouth and ignited the blood. Othin grabbed my forearm and motioned for us to climb down. We returned to the rest of the company, where he relayed what we had witnessed. We would rest for an hour, regain our strength, and strike. The Mary Father's sagging, emptied face kept me awake. The hour passed slowly. The day passed. Othin led us down the path to the overlook. I raised my axe for the blood and steeled myself for the sight of the altar. But it wasn't there. The camp, Father, and Drog, the scaled ones, all gone. Only the base remained, charred around the edges. So, wow. Alright, we talked about this in the last video about whether or not it was necromancy or blood magic that female scaled one used. And I'm convinced now more than ever that it's actually blood magic. That being said, it's basically just the same thing. Some forms of blood magic are basically necromancy. You can find the golden altar here? Did I just miss opportunity to find the golden altar? Oh, that's gonna keep playing, isn't it? Great. Okay. Yeah, the problem with Dorian's pets is that they will cause us to... I can find it here, just not where the book was. Okay.
That was the most powerful tremor yet.
Did you hear the same rhythm?
It's getting faster, harsh, like something breathing. Yeah.
Alright, excavation operation, good. We spent a lot of power in this DLC alone, which is great. Jesus Christ. Or harvest investigation. Alright. Okay, so the altar is on this 4th level. Alright. Ooh, glad I didn't miss that. Jeez. No!